If it's news in Minnesota, he knew about it 20 minutes ago.
Love having him on. He's Blois Olson with the Daily Agenda. Blois, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, Al. I'm good. How can you not be good after that weekend? It was such a good weekend.
Oh, weather-wise, it's like right up there on the top, and it looks like this week is going to be the same. Quick question, if I may. Are you able in your week to slide out if, let's just say, the perfect weather day came up and a guy said, hey, Blois, what do you think? 4 o'clock Tuesday, something like that. Are you able to sneak that out?
Al, my boss is really tough to get away from the office, and it's really hard to convince him that
I know you
work can't wait till later.
No, I know you, but because you're the head dog, I mean, you didn't get where you're going. We just talked about your how many years you had here with the take. You don't get to just do that. You start doing that on the regular, and things start going downhill. Do you do it when you get the perfect day? I consider there are 10 perfect days of golf every year, and yesterday might have been one of them.
Yeah, I would say during the week I try to play. If I play 3 days a week, it's good. If I play 4 days a week, it's great.
Oh, fantastic. All right. I yearn for 3. If I can get 4, that's great. And I'm probably sharing more than you care for me to share. But I send out a little email reminder every day, the day before, saying, hey, are we still good for tomorrow at whatever time? And you come back with a photo of you on the golf course, and God, that looked fun.
It was. It was a beautiful day. I played 18 Friday, 18 Saturday, and 18 Sunday. Al, it's a good weekend.
Do you have alternating groups, or you got a group that are all hung up like you on that? Do you do 3 days in a row with the same group of guys?
Usually not. Different groups.
Different.
Right. I mean, we just kind of jump on where we want and enjoy what we can. So,
and I know you probably can't talk about it because it's gambling and that sort of thing, but my group of gentlemen, we play pretty high stakes. We play $1 Nassau's. I mean, so and then we pay for some birdies. So you can lose a good $3 to $5 if you don't play well. Are you guys so inclined to gamble in your group?
Depends on the group.
Okay.
Usually, it's a pretty simple game. Stakes are never more than $20.
See, there you go. Yeah, if you're not going to lose your shorts, that's cool. I golfed with a group one time, and it's like, you got to be kidding me. It takes the fun out of the game. I'm more worried about the count than I am about my playing. But anyway. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, we have just a friendly game, and then the winner usually buys drinks at the end, so it's net wash for the price of entertainment.
That has got to be what every golfer group does. It was just so funny. One guy won a couple of bucks on Saturday, but he did eagle a hole. And we feel eagles are just about as unlikely to happen as a hole-in-one, so he bought everybody a round of drinks. So he gets
good.
Yeah. So other things going on in life with you. How did the anniversary go of the take?
It was good. We had a little celebration last Tuesday. Good attendance. People are asking me if I have another 15 years in me, Al. I'm like, I don't know some days if I have another 15 minutes in me.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep plugging away. Things are good. I think it's good to acknowledge something like that, sure. And then it's time to move on.
Well, move on. You are talking, if I'm not mistaken, I think you brought it up to me, maybe I got inside info, that you might be trying to expand some stuff too, throwing some more things out there. You're not necessarily rolling in the towel here.
We'll see.
All right.
Summer's coming out. That would mean less golf.
Or more employees. You've got to decide what's quality of life versus quantity, right?
Yeah. Right. But then when you have more employees, then you have to manage them.
Yeah.
And then when you have to manage them,
you got to get a manager to manage them. Yeah. This is a downhill slope, buddy. You want to find the sweet spot where you can still golf, make a couple of bucks.
Can we just on Monday just not think about these things out? Thanks.
Yeah, sorry. I just when you sent me the picture of the golf course, I'm like, man, I want to be there. I golfed on Saturday, couldn't golf Sunday, had work to do. Sorry. Let me ask you.
I don't know who you're apologizing to, Al. To yourself?
Yeah, I'm sad to myself. I'm saying sorry to Al because, like I say, that was one of the 10 great days of golfing that I think we're going to be out there. No wind, perfect weather. All right.
Right.
Quick thoughts. I think we have roughly 10 days, might be 14 days left of this session. This ain't going to get
14
anywhere.
days.
14 days, okay. Is this getting anywhere? Is it? I mean, I'm not hearing of anything saying, hey, we got that done. Let's move on to the next thing. Where are we at in the budget process?
Legislative leaders are meeting with Governor Walz regularly.
Okay.
I think that they will get some things done. Like, for instance, you can see, like, the agriculture bill, the veterans bill, some of the smaller bills getting done. But I mean, I don't see the dynamic is the House, which is tied 67-67. It can't even pass its bills. Mm-hmm. So then you say you have to pass a bill in order to negotiate with the Senate or the governor what's possible. It just adds another hiccup. And then once they negotiate, then they have to pass it back through the House. And are they going to have 68 votes? And you need one person to cross over. And look, you take an institution that isn't good at getting its work done on time.
Yep.
You add higher stakes. You add leverage. And they're going to take it to the 11th hour. That's my theory. And the 11th hour is in June, not in May.
Oh, you're talking even with a special session. Now, this is common sense stuff, so maybe that's why we don't do it. But it seems strange to me that the House is over there figuring out how much money they want to spend. The Senate's over there spending out theirs, and the governor's got something in his mind. Wouldn't you think that they'd all have a similar target, then go do their work so that they can skip this whole step of, because what you're talking about is the House will now go get some budget passed, whatever they can come up with, go look at the Senate and say, oh, we're off a few $100 million. What are you going to cut or what are you going to add? And then it's right back to the starting line again. Wouldn't it make some sense they all have the same rough number to go by?
Have you met political people?
Well, yeah, I do. That's what I'm saying. Is it too common sense to do that? And now you're saying the governor's been mixed and involved. His people, I presume you're talking about, they're coming with their own number. I mean, why are we not all hearing those numbers? What do you?
I think right now the numbers are the least of their worries. I think there's some policy items. I think the money like the education bill. We talked about this on the Sunday show this week. You know, there's strings attached, and I think Republicans don't want as many strings attached. School districts don't want as many strings attached. But yet some of the stakeholders do want strings attached. So you're sitting there going, well, we might agree on the number, but what are the parameters for it? How does it work? All those things out. I think that's what's really going to hang them up. And then there's policy items. There's environmental permitting. There is workforce rules. There are tax credits that the governor wants, that business wants, that Democrats don't really love. So this is not, I mean, this is 3D chess. Now, this is 3D chess.
Yeah, and I'm watching like a checkerboard player. That's the problem. Well, let me just throw it out like this. So Speaker Damath, her people are now want to say on this program, they're just 1/6 of all the players here, so they don't have a lot to stand on. Do they or do they not? And what I mean by that, let's just use, it seems to me they want to get back some of the stuff that the Democrats were able to do 2 years ago because they had all the legs and all 6/6 of everything. They want some of it back. I would use an example, health care for illegal immigrants. That program shot through the roof, 3 times more people than they thought were going to get it. It seems Republicans say that's one we could cut back to save some money. Will the Republicans stand, do you think? Do they have what it takes between 67 to say, we're going to win something here today? This is the hill we'll die on?
There is a lot of pressure on House Republicans to peel back some of those business mandates, some of those healthcare spending items that Democrats passed, higher ed for, undocumented non-citizens. Those things cost money, and we don't have a lot. And Republicans know that that saves money. B, it fuels their base. Yeah. Right. It's an issue that their base gets fired up about, and I think they know they want to run on parts of that next year, and so that's part of the negotiation.
Is there something likewise on the other side, on the Democratic side? And I guess that may be what you're saying. You're telling me that the Democrats, on the other hand, are going to fight tooth and nail to keep these said programs that they fought so hard to get. That they're standing up for their base and saying we won't give it back. Is that where this real problem comes in? Because I just, yeah, okay,
yeah, that's pretty simple.
Yeah, gives them their thing to land on, too. All right, we're going to go to break. I didn't get to ask you about the Kentucky Derby. What was I thinking? We'll be back after this. More stuff here in Minnesota, and we'll find out if Blois even watches the Kentucky Derby. We do that right after this on the Al Travis Show.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most popular show of all time, Grease. You'll hear all your favorite hits from the Broadway musical and the movie. Join the whole gang at Rydell High. We'll sing, we'll dance, we'll bring you back to high school life in the 50s. Poodle skirts, bobby socks, the soda shop, and drive-in movies. Grease! It'll rock your socks off. Order your tickets today. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Dust from livestock buildings can be harmful to your animals and to you. Coughing animals can lead to costly vet visits and other serious health problems. Now there's an environmentally safe solution for your dust problems. It's called Dust Lock. Dust Lock can control the dust all summer long with just one application. Protect your animals and your health with Dust Lock. Learn more at dustlock.com.
Amongst friends, the Al Travis Show. Nothing but talk.
We've got Blois Olson on the program with us with the Daily Agenda. Go to thedailyagenda.com. Sign up for it today. It's basically a news sheet. You get, i.e. this morning, I don't know how many. Do you have I don't suppose you probably have a limit. I'm going to throw out 30 or 40 stories in a regular take. Do you have an average?
I don't. I mean, I think 25 to 40 is kind of the number.
I have no guess on that. I'm just looking at the sheet.
Maybe it's 20 topics, but as you know, we try to give all sides to the issue. So You get what one side's saying, you get what the other side's saying.
Yeah.
It all works out.
And as an example, like the story I want to do, it says fraud, so that caught my attention. This is via NPR News, and it's got a little one paragraph thing on it, get you kind of caught up. But if you want to read the whole story, you click the little button there, and you get the whole story. So maybe out of the 25 things that are there today, 5 or 6 catch your eye. You can be an expert on it. If it's something you already know about, you don't care, you move on. But anyway, the tip sheet comes out. It's the one I want to hit you today was with this fraud, if you don't mind. We've had Senator Gustafson on this program quite a little bit. She started coming out right away saying she wanted to set up this inspector general office that would be completely independent. I love the idea, quite frankly. At the beginning of the session, both sides, when I bring it up on the show, are like, yeah, I think I can really get behind that. And only in the way things work in Minnesota can you get a great idea and have it stall out. Can you tell us where we're at with the inspector general? Because now I'm hearing, well, you want to do it this way, but we want to do it this way. Are they going to get that thing done?
I think they will get it done. I do think that this is a place where I think the Senate has one view and the House has a different view, and the governor has a third view. I think the one dynamic here is this is actually a good example of the negotiating points. I think this is a place where the governor and House Democrats want one thing, and the Senate Democrats and Republicans and House Republicans want another thing, and they're going to have to stare at each other till somebody folds. Kind of like when you have pocket aces, Al, and nobody folds, and you're just like, come on.
Oh, people. That's funny. But that's kind of this whole example we're talking about. People, in my opinion, should be a little teed off. Here is a great idea. If you've ever seen a time where fraud, I mean, just name a project that didn't have some fraud in it, let's get a handle on this thing, and we'll screw this up because of the minutia of the idea. I mean, the idea itself, in my opinion, makes so much sense that this thing may or may not go anywhere. Do you think this would be the big final chip in the bag that Republicans, you go our way on this and we'll give you the fraud thing? Are they holding up this, I guess, as a chip to get something else they want down the road?
I don't know where it sits in the negotiating. And in fact, it may not even be, on the menu yet.
Gotcha.
They're still negotiating budget targets, not necessarily policy provisions. But I do believe this is a place where the legislators believe in co-equal government, that you should have an inspector general who's independent of both the legislature and the executive branch. And that's where I think the balance of power and all those things, I know, Al, you aced in 9th grade civics. I think those are, that's the way that plays out.
All right. And the other thing I was going to ask you about, I wrote a sticky note on it because I missed it. I did catch it on the replay. Are you a Kentucky Derby guy? This is like a sport. I watch it because it's only 3 minutes long, but I will know no one in the game, and I don't really care, and I watched it. Did you watch it? Are you a Kentucky Derby guy?
I watched it. I would say this. I have a neighbor who is my next door neighbor, Rodney, is a big Kentucky Derby guy.
All
okay?
Right.
Party, goes, places bats, whole thing.
Yep.
I've lived here 11 years. I've become watching the Kentucky Derby. This year, there wasn't a party. My kids have gotten into it.
Okay.
In fact, both of them texted and said, "Who'd you bet on?" And I'm like, "Nobody." Then they're like, "Well, that's no fun." So it's not high on my things to do, but I'm engaged.
Did you watch it? This is how bad I am at it. Not that people like it. I get it. Go bet on it. I enjoy it. I have no problem with the horse racing business. But the entire race, I kept wanting to see the last place guy. It was so wet and muddy. I wanted them to interview him at the end because I think he was just a mud cake. Did you see that? It was she was what Seinfeld say? She was a mother from another mother, a mother from another mother. Yeah.
Mother from another mother.
Yeah. Was that the wettest thing ever?
Well, it was muddy and gross, but I don't know that we want to set the precedent. We start interviewing the last place people and everything.
Well, no, I just because he would have been caked in mud. It would have been fun. Anyway, got to.
Yeah, no, I know. Okay. I know what you're saying.
Love having you on the program, my friend. How does someone pick up the Daily Agenda?
You go to thedailyagenda.com. You spell it out. We'll deliver it to your inbox. You can get lunch, you can get morning, you can get ag, you can get health. You can even get some good news once in a while.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Gotta love it. Thank you. Blois Olson on the Al Travis Show.
There are many ways to explore Alexandria.